Hello again. Welcome back to the channel. I am redoing my video on Something Wicked This Way Comes. There were some comments and they had a good point. So I am redoing the video. I deleted the old one and we're going to take it from the top. So I look up the books again just to remind myself some of the plot points that I may or may not have remembered. With Something Wicked This Way Comes, I first saw it as the movie. It's one of those ones where I really enjoyed the movie, and because I enjoyed the movie, I got the book so that I could find out more about it. And most of the time, I do enjoy the book a lot more than I enjoyed the movie, but I don't know about any other readers out there. Sometimes you watch a movie and then you find out that there was a book that it was based on. You're thinking, well, either I hate this movie, maybe the book will be better, or I hate this movie, I'm never going to read it, or this is a really great movie. I wonder what the book is about, or what the book is like. Because it's one of those things where I understand that you have to make some modifications when you're adapting one type of media for another. So when you're adapting a book for the screen, you have to make some compromises. You have to make some modifications. That doesn't always translate into a good experience. There's a lot of stuff out there that never should have been made. Anyway, so in looking up more information about the book, Something Wicked This Way Comes, by Ray Bradbury, I found out that he actually wrote this book because of his friendship with Gene Kelly, the actor. So, 1955, Gene Kelly is friends with Ray Bradbury, and they start talking about doing a movie together, a movie that Gene Kelly could direct. And so Ray Bradbury, he gets it into his head to adapt this short story that he wrote called The Black Ferris. And then Gene Kelly starts shopping it around to the other studios, but it doesn't get picked up. So in the 5 years between when he started and I guess when they ultimately abandoned the idea to keep pursuing this, he wrote Something Wicked This Way Comes from that initial expansion of the Black Ferris. Now, a couple other things that I came to find out about. Apparently, Ray Bradbury met a carnival magician named Mr. Electro who told him to live forever, and then started telling him he was the reincarnation of a friend that he lost during World War I. So that's part of it. And Mr. Electro has a counterpart in Something Wicked This Way Comes as the nefarious Mr. Dark. But then we also have Greentown, which is the town that this happens in. Greentown is based on Waukegan, Illinois, where Ray Bradbury grew up. So he also has another book called Dandelion Wine that is a thematic prequel to Something Wicked This Way Comes. So Dandelion Wine apparently happened in the summer, and it happened in Greentown. And then Something Wicked This Way Comes is something that happened in Greentown, but in the fall. So yeah, there's a lot of connections there. Anyway, Disney picks up the rights eventually to Something Wicked This Way Comes. It was in the 1990s, I want to say. Let's see. Well, there was a low-budget British film in 1972, apparently. But the one that I saw, it was 1983 Walt Disney production. They made Something Wicked This Way Come. And apparently Bradbury was the screenwriter. So that meant that a lot of what was in the book did indeed make it into the movie, at least thematically. So like I said, I I watched this. I'm really, really not a horror movie fan, and this is a horror movie. Anyway, that being said, a friend of mine wanted me to watch it with him. Initially, I said no because Something Wicked This Way Comes didn't seem like the kind of movie that I wanted to watch. He ended up convincing me to watch it with him, and so we watched it, and I very much enjoyed it. And that's when I don't remember when exactly it was, but I found out sometime between when I watched it and then read the book later that obviously it was a book, and I checked it out from the library and very, very much enjoyed it. So it's October in Greentown. There's two friends, Will Halloway and Jim Nightshade. Jim Nightshade is an awesome name. They're just about to turn 14 years old. And they're palling around, and they meet this guy, Tom Fury. He's a lightning rod salesman, and he gives them a lightning rod because he says one of their there's a storm coming, and one of their houses is in danger. And we also meet William's father, Charles, who works at the library, and we find out that a carnival is coming to town. Now, everybody is excited to have this carnival come to town except for Charles. Charles is not really... it's not necessarily that he's not a fan of carnivals, but there's something not right. The carnival shows up, and you can tell right away that there's something not right about it, because apparently the train pulls in, there's a big cloud of smoke, and then there's the carnival. So there's something off about the carnival right away. They meet, they go the next day to go to the carnival. Their 7th grade teacher is there. She visited the mirror maze, and she's not acting quite right. Well, they end up going back after dark to see what's going on, and they find that there's a merry-go-round, but it has a sign on it that says that it's broken. They climb on it anyway, and they're stopped by a Mr. Cougar. Mr. Cougar is then stopped by Mr. Dark, who tells him to put the boys down. They run away. They come back later, and they watch Mr. Cougar riding backwards on this merry-go-round. Carousel. Anyway, when it stops, he gets off, and he's 12 years old now. He's younger than them. They follow him, and he goes to this teacher's house, Miss Foley, and he pretends to be her nephew. Anyway, the thing is that a lot of strange things start to go wrong in the town. People start disappearing. Miss Foley, they find her later, and she has de-aged. She's now a girl, but she's totally blind. And they are being chased by Mr. Dark, who is for some reason fixated on Jim and Will, and it's kind of weird. It seems a very monkey paw type situation where the people involved from the town who get involved with the carnival, somehow they get their wish, but there's always some twist. And there's always something rather sinister about Mr. Dark and about the carnival itself. As I said, very creepy, very atmospheric, and very much a good versus evil type situation, engendered by the arrival of the carnival here in Greentown. very good book. Ray Bradbury is a very good author. I highly recommend both the book and the movie. I had a very good time watching the movie, and a very enjoyable time reading the book. So, if you're into that kind of thing, it's not a horror movie in the sense of, or even a horror novel in the sense of slasher. There's not a lot of blood. There's not a lot of violence. Definitely not the Stephen King or Friday the 13th or anything like that. Very, as I said, very atmospheric, very tension building, and quite eerie in a lot of ways. Very suspenseful. There's this one scene that I remember. I don't remember if it has an analog in the in the book, but there's a scene from the movie where Mr. Dark sends an evil spell against the boys, and they're attacked by a horde of tarantulas. Personally, I'm not an arachnophobe. I would be freaked out if I was in a room full of spiders. That's just a given. But I know a lot of people were really, really freaked out by that particular scene where I believe it's Will is hiding under the covers and Jim is trying to beat back this horde of tarantulas with a pillow. Anyway, highly recommended, highly good read, and a good movie. So check them out. Let me know if you have. Let me know what you thought. Comments obviously are down below. Like, subscribe, turn the bell on so you get the notifications when I upload new videos. And until next time, enjoy what you're reading.